great to see you. I'm going to try and record this on my YouTube account at the same time because some people don't like face. So we'll see if I can do a double recording at the same time. So I'm just going to tap my record here as well. While you're waiting, you could, if you've got a couple of the little acupressure balls, which you're very welcome to get from me, you could put them underneath your feet, start pushing down or rolling on your feet there. Or maybe settle and lie on your back and begin your diaphragmatic breathing or your pelvic floor breathing. So just settle down on your mat, have a little break while I just get this started now. Diddle-diddle-da. Okay. Too hard to do that. I'll have to keep practicing. So, while you're waiting, if you have got some props, it'd be great to have a strap or a belt or a band, something to help you stretch your legs out. And if you have a chair, just like a dining room chair, that'd be great. Or I've got a box, but maybe a box that's strong enough that you can put a leg onto, so a sturdy cardboard box or a toy box or a dining room chair is absolutely fine. So got a couple of minutes to go, so you could grab a box or a chair, you could grab a band or a strap, just anything, even a towel that you can put over your leg to help your arms be longer. So grab those props. Great to see you, Katie and Ursula. Welcome, Andrea and Lisa, Alina, Katie. So we've just got another couple of minutes. So grab those props and then settle down on your back and just begin your belly breathing. Quite nice to put our hands maybe on fingertips down to the pubic bone, heels of the hands on those ASIS, the hip points there, and then you can really feel that lower belly lift as you inhale and lower as you exhale. So take this minute to settle. Kia ora, Liz, and take this minute. Kia ora, Rachel. Ngā mihi. Oh, hi, Nige. Nice to see you too. So grab those props. Again, for those few who've just arrived, we're grabbing a chair, or maybe two chairs for Nige and Rachel, like a dining room chair, and a strap, something to put over your legs so that you can stretch out a little bit. Hey Elizabeth, Liz. Hi Lisa. Great, so we've just got another 30 seconds and then we'll get started. So today, for this little session, we're going to really focus on our obliques, our side waists, which is something I really need. I'm always nursing a bit of a chronic lower back issue from my huge cesarean baby, Ben, and from, I think probably from holding him in one hip and crunching it in. So that's something I'm always working on. Okay, let's get started. So I have got my, I'll just turn this so you can see, I've got my block, or my chair up at one end of the mat. I've still got my rolled up blanket, but you might also have a roller or a blue ball or a block, just something to help prop underneath you. Let's get started. Today we're going to be thinking about our obliques. So as we exhale, we're really thinking of bringing these obliques, these front side waists, up And we often talk about our ribs. When I talk about our ribs, what we feel now, I actually mean these lower ribs, the floating ribs, that actually are a little bit like bucket handles. They actually can open as we inhale, and as we exhale and draw those obliques up, they can close a little bit. So when we say drawing the ribs in, we're actually meaning these floating ribs. We're meaning drawing these obliques up as we exhale in particular. The other little bit of biology that I'll refer to today are our groins, which are really the very top of our thighs, and they help us stabilize. So when we are standing or balancing, lying on our back and moving one leg, when we want to really be stable on our hips, it's the real top of the thighs, the groins we're talking about. And they're drawing back. So the same thing in our side series, the same thing lying on our back, same thing when we're in any balance. It's all about those top of the thighs. And there's a real connection, it's a sling between the opposite inner thigh and this oblique. It's a sling, and then this side and this side. So it's a real sling we've got going on. Okay, so grab your little rolled up blanket or towel or roller, whatever you've got to go underneath you, and we'll just settle down with that along our shoulder blades, like we do in class sometimes when I have the blue balls. And just let that thoracic spine open out a little bit and enjoy that stretch. Maybe knees together, feet apart. Maybe palms down but rolling and using our pec muscles to open up through the collarbones, or palms up, just what depends, whatever feels like you can get a little bit more stretch there. So we're opening up the front of the chest, the collarbones, and we're drawing the shoulder blades together and down the back. Inhaling, letting that belly rise. Exhaling, thinking right away of drawing our side waists up to the ribs. Inhaling, exhaling, draw those side waists, the obliques up. There are anterior obliques there on the front there, and keep going, lifting up as you exhale. Beautiful, just one more like that, settling and lifting. And now we'll bring our arms up, go into our Pilates arms. Inhale, stay here, maybe open the knees, feet and knees hip distance apart. Exhale, and as we exhale we're drawing the obliques up to the ribs. That helps to take the ribs down and resist the temptation to open up the thoracic spine. So your arms might not touch the ground at all, especially the first time. Inhale back, exhale away, resist the temptation to open up those ribs, and instead let the movement really happen underneath the armpit. So active through those arms. You could even hold a block if you wanted to. Warming up those arms in the shoulder sockets. Inhale back. Let's do 3 more. Exhale away. Inhale back. Just tuck the chin a little bit so our forehead's higher than our chin. 1 more. Exhale, resist the ribs flaring. And back. Let's try that down this time. So down. Exhale. Inhale back, exhaling on the movement. Inhale back, 1 more. Beautiful. Now we can put that little rolled up, roll to one side, that little rolled up blanket or towel underneath our head, and you could even have your head just on your normal hand towel if you want to, just depending on you. If you're still working, as I am, on getting this real rib connection to curl up into a Pilates curl, give yourself a little bit of height so you don't have to strain to bring your head back. So again, just that little tuck of the chin, thinking of the nod before we lift the head, and we'll just go back to that same exercise. Roll the shoulders down the back, widen the collarbones. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, draw the arms away from us. Exhale, they can come all the way, maybe towards your knees. Inhale, back to the middle. Exhale away. Inhale to the middle. Exhale away. Inhale back. Exhale. inhale, thinking of those ribs closing or the side waist drawing up to the ribs, whatever feels like you can activate your obliques the best. Okay, and if you want to add a little bit more, we'll go on to a Pilates curl. So it's the curl, it's the drawing down of the ribs, the pulling up of the obliques, which helps us lift our head up off the mat. So when you're ready, arms at us towards our thighs. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, tuck the chin, draw those ribs down, glide your head up and gliding back. Inhale, prepare. Exhale to lift. Inhale, stay here, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, come back down. Or you could come up and down on your exhale, really whatever works for you here. We're doing about 4 to 6. So inhale, don't move on the inhale. Exhale to move, maybe forward and backward. Inhale, prepare, or breathe even more. Inhale, exhale forward, pause and stay here for your inhale. Exhale to bring yourself back. So you're really feeling that your tummy is doing the work here, and that we've got this drawing up of the obliques. The drawing up of the obliques, the tucking of the ribs is what's helping to bring the head up. And one more. Beautiful. And bring yourself back. Fantastic. So grab yourself your strap or your band, whatever you've got to help you with stretching out those legs now. And we'll go on to stretching our hamstrings, inner waist and our outer waists. Hey Sarah, hey Brenda, hey Louie, nice to see you. No mai haere mai. Okay, so again, something underneath the back of the head. It could be your little towel, your little hand towel, just to help that tuck of the chin, forehead higher than our chin. Grab your strap, dressing gown, cord, band, whatever you've got. And you could keep your left leg bent or put it up on something. If you've got that chair handy, you can put it up on the chair, up on a block. Otherwise, we're not trying to draw this leg towards us. We're actually trying to think more of drawing it away and lengthening this hip down and away from us, getting more connection with the femur in the hip. So don't pull the leg back. In fact, draw it down towards the mat more. So pull it into the hip socket more, and then see if you can lengthen your right hip down as if you could tuck your right hip under your glute a little bit. And you could absolutely have a bent hamstring here as well. Just check that you've got a straight leg, as far as I mean your toe not turning out or turning in. One more big breath here. This is a great place to come back to that breathing, to pulling up those obliques. This is where we get to use those groins, the real top of the thigh there. So take your peace fingers, feel the top of your thigh just below your pubic bone. Push those groins down towards the mat. Stroke them down as you draw your right leg away from you. Any amount, but this is all about keeping the hips still, not letting that left leg lift. So flex the left foot, lift the knee, quads on. You could definitely do this at a wall and have your foot against the wall as well to help with a little bit more engagement. And we can put our left arm along the leg to help add some weight. And I'm still thinking about that beautiful breathing. Inhaling, exhaling, drawing those obliques up, 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 tucking them under the ribs. Sighing everything out. Big breath in. As you exhale, scoop the belly, so pull up those obliques, take the leg across. And again, we want to have this right hip down and away from us, and it's staying on the mat. So maybe you can take a horseshoe shape with your hands, put that horseshoe into your hip, draw your hip down and bring the leg across. And sometimes we can be fancy with our foot here and turn the little toe side of the foot down towards the mat. Keep thinking of lengthening through that right hip, that right waist, drawing that right hip down, down, down. If you want to, you can turn this into a twist now. So let that knee, release. If you've got a ball or a block or anything, you could definitely put it underneath your right leg as you turn to the left. And maybe look over your shoulder. And again, we don't want to hitch this hip up. Draw the hip down, down, down and away from you. Maybe even taking your left hand and pushing it onto your outside of your hip there to help you a little bit more. A little bit more. Stretch and twist. Just because we're working on these side waists. Big breath in. Exhale. Tuck that knee into the chest. Tuck the other knee and have a nice little tuck. Maybe even a little roll on your back a few times. Tucking that chin, rolling. Again, using those obliques. Pull those obliques up under the ribs. One more time back. And then we can opposite way. Left leg up, right leg down. So again, set yourself up. You could absolutely have bent legs or straight legs. Hi Christina. Oh, kia ora Pat. No mai haere mai. Kia ora Bernadette. Okay, so let's bring our left leg up this time. That's strapped towards the heel. Like I said, you could have a bent hamstring, or if you're a little bit more bendy, extend that right leg, really active through that right leg. Groin down, that top of the pelvis down, flex the foot and lift the knee. And then wherever you are, we're not drawing the leg towards us, no, we're drawing the leg down and trying to lengthen that left hip away from us a little bit more. Beautiful. And coming back to that breathing again. Inhaling. Exhaling, drawing the side waists up, tucking them under the ribs. Little lengthen through the back of the head, tucking the chin. And then we'll transfer the straps into the left hand, right arm along your thigh and extend the leg out. Inner groins are on. So feel that top of the thigh drawing down towards the mat. Flex the foot and lift the knee. And again, can you lengthen the left hip down and away from you so we're not hitching. Keep exhaling, keep inhaling. And let's take one more big breath in. Exhale across the body this time. Swap the straps if you've got straps. And again, a horseshoe shape with that left hand. Draw the left hip down and away from you. Maybe a little toe side of the foot turning down to give you a little bit more stretch on the outside, the side of our body here. That lateral side. Trying to keep both hips level or neutral. Draw that left hip away and down one more time. And then if you did have a ball or a block that you used for a twist on one side, you might like to use it on the other side as well. Just bend the knee, bring it all the way to the mat, if it can go there. If it can't go there, because we really want to focus having both shoulders on the mat, both pakihiwi nice and relaxed, then do use a block underneath the knee. And maybe if it's nice for your neck, turning and looking in the opposite direction of your knee as well. And just letting everything go, surrendering into this lovely stretch and twist. One more big breath in here. As you exhale, coming back, and we'll just take that little tuck again. So you can take all your props away, give yourself some space, knees into the chest, and thinking of that Pilates curl, nodding of the chin, closing of the ribs to draw the head up, shoulders relaxed. Can we pelvic tilt, bring that bottom up, and then rolling on our backs. And you could practice your seal here from Monday if you want a little bit more practice. Inhaling up, exhaling back, inhaling up, exhaling back. And if we want to challenge, because we really would like our obliques to be doing the work here, not so much our legs and arms, not swinging those legs, So we can take our knees onto, our elbows onto our knees, come onto our tippy toes, exhale, roll back, and up again, just watching out for things in the way. So have a little go with your elbows on your knees. It's much harder, but you'll feel then the muscles that we really want working, those obliques. Inhale, prepare, exhale, exhale, up. Maybe one more. Beautiful job. Then we'll go into our bug legs with crunches. So we've warmed ourselves up into this nice circular shape. Lots of modifications and variations here as well. You could definitely keep your head down. Otherwise, arms at your sides, tuck the chin, Pilates curl to come up. This might be enough for you. Otherwise, hands behind the back of the head, open the knees to hip distance. Inhale, prepare, exhale, turn and twist. Inhale, back to neutral. Exhale, turn and twist. Inhale, back to neutral. Exhale. Inhale, try to keep those elbows nice and wide. Exhale to twist. Inhale. Exhale to twist. Think of those side waists doing the work here. Hard to breathe, talk and twist. Let's add, if you want to, some dead bug legs. So that just means opposite leg, stretching away. Try to keep those shoulders nice and relaxed. Kia kaha, be strong. The last 4. The last 2. The last 1. And have a little break. Have a little tuck. So as we go on, if any of these exercises are too hard for you, if you feel they're not appropriate, and I've got a couple of pregnant girls out there and people with really sore backs, something like a seated leg transfer is a really good alternative. So if you had a chair or a Swiss ball at home, this is a really nice alternative to show you while you have a wee break and have a couple of breaths after that crunch with dead bug legs. So we just called alternate lift. Tricky in a Swiss ball. You could even do one side, just lifting, and you can feel the opposite oblique here is doing the work. And then the other side, opening my knees a bit wider. This is my weaker side, I can sure tell. So this is a really good alternative as we go on to the rest of this class. If you find some of the other exercises we're doing are too challenging, or you're worrying about hurting your back, or you don't want to do too much twisting, then take an alternative leg. And probably think I should be practicing anyway by the look of it. Okay, so let's go on to stretching our quads out now. So onto our knees, and we can bring our right leg in front of us. So I better mirror, I'll bring my left leg in front, and we are lifting up here, not leaning forward, not lunging forward like that. Instead, thinking of lifting up and tucking. So we want these little hip points heading up towards our face a little bit more. Beautiful job. And at home, again, lots of ways we can modify this. So you could put a block on that right as well. So option 1, lifting up, so there's a lovely long line coming up our left hand side, and maybe our hand in a block, lifting up and over, getting a nice stretch into our side waists. Option 1. Option 2, no need for the block, lifting over and up, roll the shoulder down the back. Option 3, both arms up, lifting up and over. And again, drop your opposite hip down, try to hitch, tuck the tailbone. 3 and 2 and 1, lifting up. If you had a block, you could swap that over. Well, now we will lunge forward into a runner's lunge. Flex the foot to come back. And again, if you've got blocks, if you've got slightly shorter hamstrings, absolutely use that block or both blocks or fingertips. So just stretching out all four sides of our legs. We've done the inner thighs, we've done the hamstrings, we've done the outside, and now we're doing some more quad and some more hamstring. Let's swap those legs over. Beautiful. And again, you might want a block, you might not. Tuck the tailbone. This is where we're using those groins again, this inner groin pulling back. And finding your best position here. Maybe arms up. Find that length first. Tuck the tailbone, lifting up and over. To your left this time. Roll the shoulders down the back if that's hard for you. Hand at the front of the head is a really great way to make that happen. Close the ribs. Alternatively, hand on the hip. Drop the hip. Feel that beautiful length all the way up through the side waists, or both arms up, even holding onto the thumbs. You can draw these arms back by the ears and tuck the tailbone. One more time. We're here for 3 more breaths. 2, close the ribs, tuck the tailbone, and 1. Keep that beautiful length as you come up. And again, using fingertips or blocks if you need them. Runner's lunge, letting ourselves lunge forward. So just what we weren't doing. And then flexing both feet, rolling back. And even tuck the chin if you want to chest. And just taking whatever is within your range here. You don't have to rock forward and backward. I quite like to add this movement. And 1 or 2 more, just in your own time, with your own breath. Beautiful. So now that we've opened ourselves up really well through our hips, that will help us with our side series. So we have been working along in the side series. And the side series, again, we use our side waist and those inner thighs, so that little sling system. So I'm down on my right hand side, but you can really go on any side that suits you. You could do these at the wall like we did on Monday, if that suits you. If that helped you get that idea of, so I'm thinking of people with a lot of range in their hips, so you know who you are. If you've got a lot of range in your hips, great to be at a wall at all times, because that will help you with managing that. I don't have a lot of range in my hips, so that isn't so much of a concern for me. So for today, we'll just lie on our back, on our side, bring your legs forward about 30 degrees, so head down if you would like to. And we've also talked about making these harder. So option 1, hand behind the back of the head. Option 2, both hands behind the back of the head. Or another option is to put our underneath foot on an unstable surface. So it could be a block, or it could be, if you've got a football, even harder. So thinking about you stronger people out there, put your foot on something unstable. So I do still have some footballs and some acupressure balls. If you would like to get in touch, you're very welcome to buy one. Okay, so wherever you are, let's roll the hip forward, lengthen this hip away from us. And it's the same breath movement here, inhaling to bring the leg up. As we exhale, think of drawing your obliques up towards your ribs. Inhaling up, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. One more up, exhaling. Beautiful. Te waiwai ki mua, ki muri, forwards and backwards. Again, inhale forward, exhaling back. Think of those inner groins on that supporting leg drawing back, inner groins in this leg drawing back. If you're not feeling this at the back of your bottom, think about either internally rotating your leg a little bit or externally rotating it, just so you can feel the glute med working. Last of all, bring the leg back to neutral, roll the hip down slightly, lengthen the hip away from you. te waiwai. Beautiful. Just little circles here. Mahia te purawhita. Let's do 4, 3, lengthen the leg away from you as long as it can be. It's about 1 metre longer. 2 and 1, changing direction. We're doing between 4 and 6. So ways to make this harder is to slow your circle down, make it bigger, or make them much faster. But the most important thing is how still are these hips here. That's the most important thing of all. Speed and size, not so. Beautiful. Keep that beautiful breathing up. Exhaling, drawing those obliques up to the ribs. And have a little break. Beautiful work. So, as you know, I've been working on making my kickstand happen as I get my external hip rotators stronger. But in the meantime, and what works really, really well is to kind of get that top leg out of the picture. So popping it up on the top of a chair leg, or if you've got a box like I have, make yourself comfortable. You're there for a while. So for me, I'll pop a little blanket underneath that ankle bone. So just whatever you've got at home, top of the couch, just to get it out of the way, and then back to exactly where we've came from, lengthening this top leg away from us, and now we're lifting the bottom leg. So exactly the same little side series, inhaling to lift, exhaling, drawing the side waist up to lower. It's exactly the same. Try and be nice and relaxed and neutral through your neck and through your shoulders. So again, if this is something which is too hard, if you feel like your neck and shoulders are getting too involved, you could try those seated leg transfers. One more up, one more down. Now let's take our leg forward and backward. Te waiwai, ki mua, and ki muri. Beautiful, maybe pointing forward, flexing back for a little bit of choreography. One more forward, one more back. Mahia te purawhita, little circles. And again, imagine there's a little bit of chalk on your heel. How smooth can these circles be? And we'll change direction. 6 and 5. Smooth and even. How long can that leg be? There's no bend in the knee. There's no foot doing the work. It's all about that inner thigh. 1. And then for a bit of fun, we'll write the alphabet. So I've got a little clock there. I can see the time. I don't mind if it's lowercase or uppercase. You're going to see how much of the alphabet you can get done in 30 seconds. So, kuiriri, are you ready? Let's go. Can you make your A and your B, C? You might be able to text me what you get to. Almost there. Haere tonu, keep going. Last 2 seconds. Woo! Have a stop there. I wonder what letter you got to. What's most important is, can the other side be the same? And maybe if you do this again, can you beat yourself? Okay, so that's a nice bit of work on those obliques and inner thighs. Let's come up and we'll do all that on the other side. So feel free to come up and just take a few little windscreen wipers of the legs. And then set yourself up on your left hand side or your other side. And if you need to take any props and swap them over, you can do that too. See who else is here now. It's so much fun seeing who's here. Oh, Morena Kati. Oh, Morena Ange and Carmel. Pat. No, my Heidi, my. Great to see you all. So set yourself up on your side waist again. And you absolutely can do some of those little ideas to make things appropriate for you. So option 1, head down, head in your hands, both hands, or something unstable underneath this bottom leg. Beautiful. Long through your legs. Top leg is slightly longer than bottom leg because your side waist is drawing away from you. There's a space underneath your waist here. And let's start inhaling and exhaling. Beautiful, and long through our legs. Maybe inhaling up, exhaling down. Maybe pointing up, flexing down. And again, experiment with externally or internally rotating your leg if you can't feel that back bottom's coming on. This is really, lots of muscles are working here. Side waist up. Beautiful. Inhaling, exhaling. Te waiwai ki mua, ki muri. Again, how still can your hip be? I like to put my fingers here just to really notice if my hips are moving. One more. Inhale, exhale. Mahia te purewhita, little circles. Again, how long can this leg be? Draw this hip away from you. 2, 1, maybe point, change directions. Haere tonu, keep going. This side will be working harder. It's already worked quite hard to stabilise you on the other side, so I certainly can feel that in my body, that this side already feels like it's worked pretty hard. So let's take yourself to your box now, or your chair, or whatever little prop you've got to get that leg out of the way. If you haven't got anything, you can absolutely go back to what we often do, which is this, or the kickstand. So setting ourselves up again, nice and long, roll the top hip forward a little bit. And we're lifting and lowering the bottom leg this time. Inhaling and exhaling. Remember, we're still using these side waist. It's all about the side waist here. Pretty much doing a real focus this week on our obliques and anterior. Obliques, the front obliques here. Monday there were some twists. And let's point forward and flex back. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Last inhale, exhale. Mahia te purewhita. 4, 3. A little bit of chalk on the heel. How smooth can the circle be? Lift your knees. Don't let your foot do the work. Changing direction. I can't point my foot, my box is in the way. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Are you ready for your alphabet? Koreri koto. Just make sure I can see my wee clock. Now I've changed position. Okay, you've got 5 seconds to write the alphabet with your heel. 2, 1, and go. How many letters can you do? Can you do the same on this side as the other side? That's the most important thing. Make sure there's a dot for the J, dot for the I. Another 5 seconds. 3, 2, and you're finished. Karawi tōmahi. Okay, so from there, why don't you lie on your back and just let the knees come together. Take them over to the right and left a couple of times. Those windscreen wipers, maybe arms up overhead. Having a nice stretch. Take any those props away. We need a bit of room for this last little part of the class. So have a wee stretch any way that feels good for you. And we'll go on to some balance work now. So again, if this is going to be too tough for you, then use your chair for those seated leg transfers, or I'll I'll teach you some modifications along the way. Doing a second set of what we've just done, absolutely fantastic as well. Any one of those things will work. Cool. Okay, so we are going to face me with your, if you've got a mat, with it coming across your body so we can put our legs out in each direction. Take your socks off if you've got socks on, because we really do want as much grip as we can here. And then when you're ready, hands can be on the hips. Take your right leg out, open the arms out to a nice capital T, using our sideways, so exhale to lengthen forward. Fingertips and wrist slightly ahead of our shoulder, top arm up, and having a lovely big stretch here. Oh, I like that love heart, I like the stretch. And again, you can absolutely put yourself on a block if you need to. So just enjoy the stretch here. This might be enough for you. And you could work here on our arms. Let's just bring our arms up and down a few times. You can add a little bit of rotation if you want to, rotating towards the mat, lifting up and over. If you've got a little bit more in you, come back to that capital T, close the ribs, so close these ribs, and glide your left leg up. Flex the foot maybe, point forward, and flex back. Yeah, we've already done this once or twice today. Here we go again. If this is too much, having your legs still is absolutely fine. Maybe you can lift and lower your leg. 4, tuck the tailbone. 3, 2, 1, you know we're heading. If you've got a little bit more, maybe you can take some little circles here. I would even bring, seeing myself in the camera, bring my wrist forward of my shoulder a little bit, as in front of it. Push through those fingertips and thumbs to get the weight off your wrist. Lift this top fingers away from you. 2, changing direction if you haven't already. 1, beautiful. Let these knees come together, folding down into our mermaid. And if knees isn't a good position for you like this, cross your legs instead, or kneeling. Use any props you need to feel more comfortable. Arms out, we'll lengthen again. Over to the left, top arm up. And exhale up and over the other way. Just keep going. Trying to keep both sit bones on the mat. So the stretch is really happening at your waist, underneath your ribs. If we lift up here, like I'm demonstrating, I'm not really getting any stretch at all here now. It's all about keeping this side down. So you could absolutely put a blanket underneath that hip. That can really help as well. And this time stay here. We'll come back to those little forward folds towards the mat. Opening up again. If this isn't very nice on your shoulder, as always, you could have your forehead and hand connected instead. You can move as fast or as slow as suits you. Exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling up and over. This time we'll hold on to the foot or the shin, and again exhaling to twist down, inhaling to open. You could have your hand in front of your forehead or arms up by armpit if you can. Really active through that arm, keeping lovely and long and engaged. And we'll just finish with a little tuck. So we'll tuck the head down and looking towards your belly button. Take a couple of breaths here, coming back to that beautiful belly breathing if you can. Nice job. And we can bring ourselves up to the other direction, to that kneeling position again. Left leg out this time. I'm really pushing the heel into the mat to get my glutes on, so that glute max is on, lifting the knees, so a lovely strong base. Just check that your back foot here isn't curled in or sickled, either tuck the toe under or have it down, but have it straight down in line with your shin, not curled. I'll show you a sickled foot. A sickled foot's curled in. It's a little compensation that we do sometimes. Now I've lost my train of thought. But yeah, leg out. Am I going the same way as I just did? Right, let's trouble with talking in the middle of all this. Lengthen across again, hand down to the mat, arm up, beautiful, and we'll lift up. I will stay here first and do our stretches, sorry. Aroha mai. Closing those ribs, lengthening the arm, pushing your fingertips and thumbs into the mat, maybe staying here, maybe gliding the leg up, and then maybe forward and backward. Just 3 to 5 of these. They are so much harder than being on the ground, obviously. So once you've done 3 to 5, you might stop and pause, or maybe you'll do 3 to 5 lift and lowers. Your body is rigid, it's long, it's like a plank, and little circles. 3, changing direction, using those glutes, using those side waists. Beautiful. Knees together. Let ourselves come down to that beautiful mermaid position again. Arms out, lengthening, bending the elbow. And a lot of us have a lot more range than I have. So you could absolutely get your whole forearm onto the mat while keeping your waist and side, so while keeping your sit bones on the mat. So that's pretty tricky for me with my short, weak waist. So just taking whatever range is appropriate for your body. You could pause and stay for a few breaths, or you can move with every breath, really whatever feels good for you here. I'm just moving on my exhale, trying to pause on my inhale, moving on my exhale. And then we can go on to that last little part of the stretch here. And we can bring our arm over, looking down towards the floor, lifting back up. So the rotation's happening at the belly button. The head and the gaze are following the movement. Don't lead with your neck or lead with your head. Lead with your belly button. Try that the other way as well. Lead with the ribs. Lead with the belly button. But you can even leave your head looking down while you get that idea of what it feels like to move the waist and then add the head. And we'll just finish with that little tuck, gazing towards our belly button, stretching out through the back of those long neck flexors. Beautiful work. We're just about there. We'll just finish with some nice, a little bit of nice spiraling movement now. So knees hip distance apart, feet hip distance apart. Just let your knees drop to one side and let your arm come across, reach behind you any amount and reach back, and swapping over, knees and windscreen wipers and reaching behind you. Parallel with the mat, and just get that lovely long reach away. You might find you travel forward a little bit as you do this. Okay, to pie, that's all good. Just being aware of being long through your waist, so let the waist keep drawing away from you as you lengthen back. So at this point, drop the hip down, lengthen away. And again, your range could be very different than my range or the person next to you if you're doing this with your whānau. So just doing what's right for you Such a lovely release of tension to twist like this. It's called a seated spiral. I'm definitely getting closer and closer to you. And that's good, I can peep and see who else has come and joined us then. Oh, kia ora, Vanessa. Okay, oh, that's great. Okay, so let's go on to our last little exercise here, and we'll just come back to where we came from, which is lying on our backs, and we'll take a supine crescent. So also gets called a banana pose. So we'll have our arms and legs in one direction. We can definitely make this a little bit more twisty if we want to, and then our arms and legs in another direction. So we'll just start by taking the hands behind the backs of those knees, rolling back one vertebra at a time. Have a couple of pelvic tilts here, forwards and backwards. Then find your nice neutral pelvis. There's a wee space beneath the lumbar spine. Roll the shoulders up and down a couple of times. Up and down. Shrug them up to your ears, draw them down. Then forwards and backwards. And then can you let them roll down the back a little bit more? Arms above the head if that's nice for you, or out in a cactus, or at your sides if you do have shoulder issues. Maybe even holding onto your elbows and close those ribs if you can. And we can let ourselves walk over to the right with our torso. Extend the legs and walk them to the right as well. Take your time. Maybe looking to the right so you've got a full extension and stretch through your left hand side. For some of us, we can cross that left leg over the right, but only if we keep both of these hips on the mat still, the back of the hips, and you've got nice neutral hips. And now while we're here, let's just relax. We've got some time. So pretty hard to belly breathe here. Instead, think of breathing underneath your armpit and between the ribs, the intercostal muscles they're called. And finding a little bit of space in between those ribs, inhaling them and exhaling them. We're here for a good long minute. So shut your eyes, maybe count your breath in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, and in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, and in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, and in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, and in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, and 4. So no rush. Just take your time, walking back to neutral. And then let our torso and legs come over to the left this time. Have a wee wriggle and a jiggle so you feel nice and neutral through your hips and shoulders. Maybe looking over to the left as well. Thinking of breathing and opening between these ribs here. And again, we're here for 2 minutes, so you've got lots of time to slow the breath. Inhaling and exhaling, trying to even the length of the inhale and the length of the exhale. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. exhaling. Keep going, haere tonu in your own time. Another good 30 seconds here. Okay, and let's roll to one side. Use those strong arms and legs to help you up into your hands and knees. Open your fingers wide, maybe hands ever so slightly in front of your shoulders, pushing down to those fingertips. And we'll use this alternate arm and leg all over again, and we'll see if we're a little bit stronger. So on Monday we did this against the wall, our hip against the wall. You could absolutely do that again. Otherwise you can try freestanding. So when you're ready, inhaling, glide your right leg away from you. Keep connection with the mat. Exhale, draw the obliques up to the ribs as you draw the knee in. You could bring it a little bit further than we normally do, right into a little tuck. Inhaling away. Exhaling, remember the hip isn't going along for the ride. You're using those side waists. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Tuck the tailbone, hips up towards your nose. Last one. Inhaling. Exhaling. Beautiful. Open the knees. Try that on the left. Inhaling, exhaling. Pull the obliques up towards the ribs. Exhaling. And again, your feet could be turned under, straight ahead, just not sickled. Trying to keep the hips nice and still. Draw the knee as high as works for your body here. Inhaling, exhaling, maybe one more, and exhaling. Beautiful. Come down to a child's pose. So tuck up into angry cat back, pull yourself back, pull yourself back, pull yourself back, and then take your hands behind the back of the head in a prayer position. Just a little bit of recovery there. We'll do a second set of that. And if you wanted to add an opposite arm and opposite leg, or add an opposite arm to your opposite leg, you're really welcome to. So coming up again, you could be at the wall, you could be freestanding. Open the fingers nice and wide, pull the arms towards each other, and let's lengthen our right leg away from us. Maybe add the left arm, and again draw them in as close as you can, maybe adding that nautilus, the tuck of the tailbone to the angry cat back. Inhaling away, exhaling, drawing in, drawing in, drawing in. Inhaling away, exhale to draw in. And if you want to, for the last 3 or 4, you could lift the leg up and exhale. Make a little fist. Take your time, maybe pause at the top to add some more stamina. Exhale, pause at the bottom in the flexion to add more stamina. Inhale, pause. Exhale, pause. Inhale, pause. Exhale, pause. Last one, inhale, scoop the belly. Bring everything down. Beautiful job. Let's try that on the other side. Remember, for some of us, having your knees in the middle pressed together, so you've sort of got them balanced underneath you, is better than hip distance apart. So just again, play with what works for your body here. When we're ready, inhale, left leg away, right arm, exhale. Option 1, keeping quite still through the back. Keeping connection with the foot on the mat. Option 2, adding the nautilus back. but still keeping a connection with the foot on the mat. You've got a little bit more support that way. Option 3, adding that full extension and that full nautilus flexion. Option 4, pausing, really slowing it down, pausing at the bottom, tuck the chin, nose to knee, inhale, extend, pause, exhale, inhale, Haere tonu, keep going, it's our last exercise, inhale, 2 more, exhale, kia kaha, let's be strong, nothing else to do today, you can do 1 more, and again, angry cat back, lengthen yourself down, maybe open your knees wide, and you could put your forehead onto a block. Something else that's really nice, because we're here for a good couple of minutes, is to put that rolled up blanket at the belly, knees together. That can be a really lovely, relaxing, restorative child's pose for you then. And again, any kind of block or bolster underneath your head or chest. Also have legs wide if that's good for you. If you do have a bolster or rolled up blankets, they can go underneath your torso this way and stretch down. So we're here for another minute. So take the time, find yourself nice and comfortable wherever you are here. Coming back to that beautiful belly breathing again. Inhaling and exhaling. Take your time. Kia ora, Carolyn. And if it's nice for you, you could finish off with a little bit more of a stretch through our side waist. So walking from whatever position you're in, wide leg or knees together, walking our arms over to the right, head down, again any props that help you be more relaxed. Turn your head to one side or the other, or tuck the chin. And sometimes crossing the opposite hand over as well to get a little bit more stretch. Let's take another 2 breaths here. And then walking the fingers across the other side, maybe crossing opposite arm, tuck the chin. Beautiful. And then let's come back to a kneeling position. From kneeling we can just come up onto our high knees, and from high knees, using our strong side waist, put your favourite leg forward, tuck the back toes of your other leg and coming up to standing. Beautiful job. Hands to heart centre, lifting up the knees, tucking the tailbone. Tihei Modi Ora. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone. Lovely to see you. I'll see you on Monday, and if I can persuade Jim to do some yoga with me, I'll try and post a class on Sunday too. Otherwise, ka kite anō, kia pai toa, haere, have a great weekend, and I'll look forward to seeing you on Monday. Thanks so much for all the comments and for joining me. It's so lovely to know that I'm not sort of doing this in a vacuum. Okay, ka kite anō, bye.